Hey, how's it going? My name's Thomas. I wanted to walk you through the process so you can actually see how we operate. And from there, you can decide if this is even for you. I don't want to waste your time or waste necessarily our time. So because of this, I filmed this video. It's probably take like a few minutes to walk you through exactly how we do things. The main things that we obviously help chiropractors is get more patients, and we actually pre-qualify them and book them in on your behalf. But I'll explain exactly how we do it, okay? So first of all, first and foremost, we have to get traffic somehow. We usually use traffic on Facebook and Instagram ads, but we have a specific way we film video ads. We've seen video ads outperform image ads by a mile, and because of this, we ask most of our clients, every client, to film a bunch of ads. And how do we do this? We ask them to film some hooks and some bodies, and also to give us some b-rolls. And if we mishmash all of those together, we're going to be able to create a bunch of different ads. Most of the time, hooks is like 7 to 15 seconds, where you just basically talk about patient's problem and their pain, maybe resonate with some situations that they've encountered. And bodies is things that usually don't change. Like, for instance, you're the same doctor, you're doing basically the same thing for probably a lot of years and the same location. And yeah, you don't necessarily have to have something fancy in bodies. And call to action is just when you say like for instance, click the link below, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's ads. That's how we can basically creative test a bunch, because we have so many ads that we can use. Usually it comes up to like 30 to 50 video ads, and those 30 50 video ads, you can probably imagine how easy it is for us to find some winners, because we have a bunch of things to test all the time. Obviously, if you also add some testimonials and things like that, there's so many variations. And I see this one of the biggest things that actually is missing for a bunch of chiropractors that want to scale sufficiently and get more patients through the door. Okay, so that's creative testing. Now let's talk about where we direct the traffic to. We direct the traffic to quizzes. Quizzes are really fun, really easy to understand. I'm just going to pull one up here. Basically, a quiz is something that you can fill out within seconds that just asks you a bunch of questions, and usually the answer is one or two things. And usually you really, really can qualify a person, and it doesn't take them much time to fill this out. Like, how would you describe the nature of the symptom? Where is the symptom located? Does it radiate to other parts of your body? And etc. How often do you experience the symptoms? How long do the symptoms last? Few minutes, hours? Is the pain constant? And what's the severity of the symptoms? And when they plug in all the answers, they come here and they basically have to enter their first name, email, and phone number, just like on landing pages or the forms. But here, it takes them usually 7 to 15 usually questions, and usually we get a really, really good quality persona, and they never really forget what they did. And also because Facebook is an Instagram and any ad platform in that sense, YouTube, TikTok, Google, they learn from the data that it gets. So if it's getting good data, it's going to learn from the data that it gets and optimizes better. What does that mean? It just means it's able to search for better people. So that's where we generate the traffic to. Now let's talk about what happens when somebody submits the form. First of all, we have a sales patient team in-house. We have Marianne that you're going to meet, and you're going to be able to talk to her. She's really, really awesome. She's such a killer over the phone. But basically what she does is calls the leads within 1 to 5 minutes. Usually we try to keep it within 1 minute, and even we try to scale it up so we can reach patients within seconds of them filling out the form. But yeah, when they fill it out, basically it comes in the dialer. We use dialers so we can actually contact people really quickly. And also we have this phase 1 to phase 4 segregation system when it comes to leads. So this means that basically when a new lead comes in, what it's going to do, we're going to be doing like 3 dials the first day, and it's usually going to be increments of 30 minutes. Then after those 3 initial dials, if they didn't pick up, they're demoted into priority 2. Priority 2 is basically day 2. We're going to call them the next day. There's bigger increments of time that we call. Usually it's 90 minutes instead of 30. And then we're going to repeat this process all through 7 days. After the 7th day, we've considered this lead to be aged lead, and usually these leads are not going to be converting that easily. We have to, obviously, we also use SMS and email to keep them up warm, but this allows us to make sure no lead actually falls through the cracks. Obviously, there are leads that never respond. There are leads that block our numbers, but we have rotation of multiple numbers, usually 3 to 5 per location, and we're going to be chasing after leads for 7 days straight, okay? And because of this, Marianne's making about 100 plus dials every single day. So that's how she can actually make sure nobody goes on cold. Trust me, no staff member in your clinic can actually make this happen. And that's why we pay her. That's why we make sure that she actually can do it. And that's her main responsibility. Okay. Also, there are some people that prefer texting, so she also does texting, making sure people just come in. Now, The cool thing is we also take deposits. Usually Marianne takes them on the call, and why she does it to guarantee the show up. If the show up rate, again, there's a lot of chiros that struggle with show up, meaning like people don't show up even though they booked. Because of this, we just charge people on the same day through a payment link that is sent over text, and that's how we guarantee the people show up. Okay, so we schedule them in, take card on file. Most of the time, 99% of the time, we usually charge the deposit the same day. Okay, if they haven't booked, then again, they cycle through the phase system. And yeah, the math that we've done, just to show you what could be the return on investment, just so you understand. Obviously, there's a bunch of things here written. I'm just not going to go through that right now. It really will depend on what's your lifetime value. Lifetime value usually is a number associated with how much worth is your client. Usually, on average, we've seen that chiros have about 1,400 lifetime value. And so in this calculation here, what I've done is put in 1,400 as a base number for lifetime value. If it's higher, then just calculate approximately. If it's lower, then obviously calculate approximately. What we've seen from $50 a day on ads, we've been able and consecutively right now get one person to show up at the door every single day. So again, it depends on area. There are slight differences. Sometimes if it's like urban, it's a bit easier. If it's rural, it's usually a bit harder. At the same time, it depends on the competition. But usually, we are able to get one show up per day. And obviously, if you spend more money on ads, then you just get more show ups in day. If you know your numbers and know exactly what's your lifetime value, you should be making good money. Yeah. Usually, one show up leads into. Usually we've seen that half of the people that show up lead into long-term care. So this calculation here is done obviously on 50% conversion rate into long-term care. This is how we come up with the 19,000, for instance. And this is what we've actually seen. Yeah, there are some chiros that can close at a bit higher rates, 60, 70%. There are some that close lower, but basically the math won't change much. This is how we're able to get around 13 return on the money that you spend on ads. $50 a day means $1,500 a month, roughly. Here we have $100 a day, so here it's 3,000, and here we have 9,000. Not every location can scale to 300 a day. We've hit bottlenecks somewhere around 200s in some locations, but you can get consistent patient flow no matter what location. Hey, it's Thomas from the future with different headphones. The old ones died. Anyway, I just wanted to explain who I am and what I'm building, and just give you a short insight of how much does it cost. And yeah, this is a place where you can decide if this is even for you. Just to summarize, the offer is basically we'll generate higher quality patients. You saw that we use a great creative diversity by a lot of different ads. We have Marianne and now a different person as well on calls, making sure they qualify people before they come in, just so you know they disclose that you're either cash based or insurance based. Anyway, those qualifications are happening on the phone as well. And obviously quiz, like you saw, 7 to 12 questions. That qualifies people a lot and helps with the quality of the people that are coming in. Okay, we'll book your leads on your behalf, so you don't have to chase them around. Usually we're going to be calling around 10 roughly times in a span of 7 days each lead. And yeah, and we're going to be calling them as much as we can. Like I mentioned, 10 roughly times within 7 days. We usually don't work on Sundays, usually 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central. That's the schedule that we operate right now. We have nurture campaigns off hours, right? So obviously nobody's talking to those leads in like early mornings or late evenings. We have Marianne text a lot of people in those hours, but we also have some nurture campaigns in place, short-term, long-term nurtures that even last 100 days, for instance. We'll take deposits, so people show up. It's 95% show rate once people actually pay. Usually we'll take either half of the new patient special or just card on file or like $10. A lot of times we just want to make sure people show to the clinic. We've tested it. It doesn't influence the quality as much as you think. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my name's Thomas, or Tomas, how Spanish friends call me. I was born and raised in Europe, Latvia, moved to California, LA, Santa Monica a few years back. And yeah, now I call myself Thomas. But yeah, this is a picture from NYC. I don't know if you can see it here. But yeah, we have about 20 plus clients. Not everybody's online. We have about 12, 13 clinics live with the accounts running. So we're fairly new. We've been in the market only for like 7 months. We have 6 team members right now, 2 people calling the leads, 1 editor, VAs that help make sure that all the tracking and everything is dialed in. But yeah, you're probably interested how much does it cost and everything. First of all, you have to have some money for ad spend. Yeah, usually I think I mentioned this. If you're in an urban city, usually it's going to be easier to get leads. Usually you're going to be able to get more people in, meaning it's going to cost less to get people in. So from 1,500, you can be looking at anywhere from 12 to 18, 20 people. If it's going to be like, yeah, rural where it's less people, then it's a bit harder a lot of times to get people. It could be like closer to 7, 10, 12 people roughly from $1,500. Obviously, the best scale and the best clinics that I work with that are scaling their accounts to like 30, 40, 50, and even 70, $100,000 a month, they usually operate at a higher like advertising budget around 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 6K roughly. But I'm not going to push you, just sharing what I'm seeing across the board. And yeah, we usually work on, it's both performance and setup fee. Setup fee will depend on how much ad spend are we going to be spending and how many ads are we going to be creating. So a lot of that is going to dictate the price. It's anywhere from a few $100s up until like $2,000. And we usually work on performance, meaning every person we bring in is usually going to be probably costing around $50. But I'll explain all of that on the call so we can jump on and yeah, hope this is interesting for you. I'll talk to you soon.